Hello, good evening. My name is Pastor Moses, and this is my beautiful wife, Delali. We have been married for 14 years, going on 15 this year, and we thank God for how far He has brought us. So, welcome to Love Notes. It's an amazing conversation about love, all the different perspective about love, and so that it will enrich your relationships, no matter where you are, single, still married, wherever you find yourself in that range. We just want to touch on a few topics that will be a blessing to you and just keep the conversation going in a biblical way. So, thank you so much again for watching. God bless you. And before we start, I want to introduce everyone. So, Miss Tina Fonworld, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Tina Fornwall. My husband and I were together for 32 years. I have been a widow for 4 years now and actually dating again. And I'm glad to talk to you about love today.
Hi, my name is Sherry Brooks, and this is my husband.
Randy.
And we've been married for 10 years, going on 11 soon, and we are happy to be here. This is the second go round for us for marriage, and we're happy to be here to talk to you about love.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I was once married for 3 years, then I got a divorce. So now I am single, ready to mingle.
Hello, hi, I'm Langa Simba. I am an educator and I'm single, and I'm happy to come here and talk about love notes.
Amazing, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. I know it's going to be a wonderful time together. So we're just going to jump right in. I have a first question, and I wanted to go with Miss Tina, if you don't mind answering this question for us.
Sure.
All right. So, in your opinion, can long distance relationships survive?
You know, that's a great question. When my husband and I met, we were both in the military, and we had been dating about 6 months, and then I took orders to Korea. And I was in Korea for 18 months, and he was in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. And that was way back when you had to pay for every phone call. There wasn't a cell phone. And I remember our phone bill being so expensive. And we had little recorders, and we would send recorders to each other. And those were some of the most precious things that I found after my husband passed, to be able to go back and to hear his voice or go back and look at all the letters. And that 18 months happened, came back to the States, and we got married about a year afterwards. And about 6 years into our marriage, my husband took a job as an electrician, and he would travel back and forth. And it was just like a renewing that spark. When you love someone, it just makes you so much more excited when they come home. And when he was able to stay home and took a different job when we had children, it was just a great sense of appreciation of just having him there. So if two people are committed to that relationship and you want to do everything it takes to stay in contact with that person connected, yes, it can work.
That's amazing. When I was dating my wife, I was in Fredericksburg and she was in Alexandria. That was like 45 minutes though, but 45 long minutes. Now, y'all laugh, but I was a student without a car, so I couldn't go anywhere. But I mean, I think we saw it as a close relationship, but still was long distance in a way because we saw each other once every 2 weeks, sometimes once every month, and there was a degree to that. And so, anybody else wants to answer that question? Long distance relationships. I know some people don't want to do that at all. Some people are okay with that, but anybody else, what is your perspective?
I think, like you said, it does depend on the person. Me personally, I would not want to be in a long distance relationship. And I think when I was very young and first started out, I was very intentional about not dating someone in the military. Interesting, though, he was in the military for 21 years. But I was very intentional about dating someone in the military, not dating someone in the military, because I did not want to be in a long distance relationship, and because I knew that wasn't for me.
So what about the long distance relationship that you don't like
I like
or that you didn't like?
I like the presence of the person.
Mm.
Um, for me personally, I feel I need the presence of the person on a regular basis, more than just a phone call or a voice.
Right. Miss Tina, go ahead.
If I can say, that situation happened. In this present situation, when I started dating, that was not an option.
Yeah.
Because I wanted, just like Sherry said, I want to see the essence of that person. The person that I'm dating now literally lives about 15 minutes from me. I want to see your life. I want to be a part of that. that was, like I said, that was then. That was not an option for me now. It's just not something I want to do. The world is different now, and I want to be able to see who you are, not who you say you are, and that can only be done by being in someone's presence.
Agreed.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
I completely agree. I've never dated anyone long distance, but like you said, that never even crossed my mind. If you don't live around the corner, then I'm okay. So I completely understand. It is hard, and I think so much in my generation, the whole trust thing. That's why a lot of young women now don't do it, because I can't even trust you around the corner. You know, whether it's something that they deal with personally, just trust issues, or if, you know, in the relationship that has been a thing, it's hard, you know. So going, even like you said, an hour away, that's a lot.
Simba, go ahead, sir.
We live in a really globalized society nowadays. So, as such, I don't think there's any. I mean, long distance relationships are just another way of people to connect over distance and time. I understand the whole idea of like, I must see the person to have their essence here and so forth. That actually makes a lot of sense, like on so many aspects. But sometimes I think it's best if you guys if you have like something to work towards, like, oh Lord, I'm gonna see my beloved next week. Oh God, I'm gonna see my beloved 4 days from now. I'm gonna see my beloved 2 hours from now. I'm driving up to go see my beloved. I think I think sometimes that actually helps to increase, how do you say, the fire of the relationship, because you guys are separated. So hopefully the time that you do spend together, there's very less of the negative drama, and there's more of the, hey, let's just get to know each other now while we're in each other's presence, instead of having to try and fight like, I hate you too, and all the other nonsense that goes into daily relationships.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Michaela.
if I might add, because again, back to my generation, we live in a social media world. So if you meet that person online, then at that point you don't have a choice and you make it work, you know. But after a while, you need to come on here, or you know, or I go there, or whatever. So like you said, it's a catch-22, because we do live in a world where a lot of things are done online. So if you live in Arizona and I'm in Virginia, I can't help that. So I agree with both sides, I guess.
And to that point, that word catfish, I want to see
That-
who you
yes.
are. The gentleman that I'm dating now, we really just hit it off in the first week, and I said, not for nothing, but can we just meet for coffee? I want to see if you are 6'1". I want to see if you I want to see if you look like who you say you are. I want to see what your presence is. And on top of that, if I don't feel connected to you, I don't want to spend all this time talking to you online,
Yeah.
and then I get in your presence and there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
And you can't get that until you're in someone's presence. He said, yes, I like to meet him. I mean, we had been chatting for a couple of days. We met up for coffee. Chemistry exists. I was like, okay. But if not, because I'm 5'9". I don't need to hear you're 5'9" and you like 5'8", and it's like I've been wasting all this time and that doesn't work. So, yes, I need to see you.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
make
after a
sure
while.
the chemistry needs to be there. You need to be who you say you are, because people can talk a lot online.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I-
go ahead, Monsieur. No, go ahead, because
No, I was gonna say something about catfish, because I discovered that show like last year or during COVID, and I was fascinated by the fact that people could be strung along
yes.
for so long,
Yes.
and I said that would never be me, because I'm like, Tina, I'm trusting, but I'm verifying. When I first met Randy, I'm like, so you work where? Oh, can I come on your job? Because I want to know for sure that what you're telling me is the truth. You know, that's the society that we live in now, because people can tell you anything.
And I totally agree with you, Ms. Sherry, because that was what I was gonna say. It's pretty much is really a preference for people. You know, some people are okay with you stay over there, I stay over here. The distance works very well for us. And some people too are, you know, I need to see you. I need to know, because we're trying to go somewhere with this relationship, you know. But in the generation we live now, it's like you have to be careful and want to meet the person as quickly as possible. We have so many things going on. We have people catfishing. We have people that say they are something and they're not. We have people posting pictures of women and they are men. You know, you never know what you are getting yourself. You never know what you're getting yourself into. So really, I think it's a preference, but um, caution
Yeah.
in today's world. Caution. Okay, well that leads me to my next question. Um, do you think opposite genders can maintain a healthy friendship relationship without developing love interests for each other? And anybody can take this.
At the end of the day, they're really just two people, and you don't have to. Well, I guess you don't have to necessarily have a love interest with somebody else. But I think you could actually have a very successful friendship with somebody of the other sex, as long as you yourself have already made up in your mind, like, this is how far this will go with this person and no more. You make that decision, you stay to it, life is easy. You don't, it's more complicated.
That's a really interesting perspective from a man, because I've always wanted to really hear from the perspective of a man, because I do believe that it's impossible. Um, I have this feeling that as women, it's like when we make up our mind, it's just like, yeah, you are not, you're not. But friend zone, we put you in a box, and you stay in that zone. But I don't know how it is for men, if it crosses a line at a point. So it's a very good. Mr. Randy, you want to touch on that?
Now, when you say, are we talking about a man that is married, or are we talking about a single person?
I think in both instances, right? Whether married or single.
In for me, when I was single, the ladies, women that I was friends with, I was put in the friend zone.
Right. Okay.
You wake up and it's like, oh man, I'm in the friend zone. You don't even see it coming. It's like, oh man, I'm in the friend zone. So, and then for a married guy, I just think it is not appropriate. Not that you can't do it, but it's just some things that are like better not done.
That's right.
Some things will just might have a look of impropriety,
Right.
and that's not right. It's not right. It's not right for your wife. It's not right for you. So, like, when Sherry and I got together, I don't have a lot of male friends. I could count them on less than a hand. All the other friends, associates, cut that right off right then.
Right.
So I guess you could, but have some respect for
Restraint.
yourself,
Yeah.
for your perspective, for your wife, and I would say probably the man and y'all. Oh, we're just friends.
Yeah. Really.
Honey, what did
Well, I think it's I guess coming from a position that I'm in a leadership position, and then also pastoring a church, I'm in a position where I have to, or was in a position where I would have to spend time with other men. And then oftentimes I would say, I wonder how people perceive this, being very conscious of that and making sure that I do not present any type of put myself in a situation where people would look and say, what's going on with those two? Isn't she, so, but still having that relationship, because when you work with somebody, you do develop those connections and you do have a relationship with that person. People talk about work wives, work husbands. I would never say that.
Yeah.
And I would not allow myself to get that close to somebody at work. But I do, I have friends at work that are men, but I don't bring them home, and I don't go to their house and we don't hang out or anything like that. So I think that's the difference, because you do have in life, you do have to have relationships with people of the opposite sex, and you have to be mature enough and strong enough to recognize what type of relationship it is. And if you feel yourself, or if you feel that person taking it to a level that it should not be, then again, as Christians, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. So we have to be the one that says, no, you know.
I do agree, and I mean, I want to hear from the single people, right, or those who are not yet married, because if you are married, it's like the rules are set for you. Like, yeah, you can't be taking people out on dates, and it's just a date, it's just a friend. You just can't do that. I've always had this stubborn, probably unproven thought in my head from my dad. My dad always said, a guy and a girl can never just be friends. And now maybe I'm glad we actually talking about it, so I can challenge some of my thinking, because men are pursuers, right? And so it's okay, we're just friends, and if we like each other's company, then we hang out some more. After a while, that level becomes boring. Things must go to the now. Maybe the ladies are good at saying, "My friend, you are in the box. I don't care how many flowers you bring. I don't care how much you pay for lunch. You are still in that box." Men on the other side are more pursuers. So I'm caring for you. I am investing something here. So after a while, I want to know if this investment is going to pay off or is just a friend, right? So it's maybe now my perspective again is that it is not impossible, right? But then it's a slope that things develop in friendship, even with your guy to guy friendship or girl to girl friendships. Things get. I mean, now you are able to say a little more about your life, a little more of your personal feeling, right? Things develop stronger, emotions develop stronger. So yeah, with a guy and a girl, I just think that, friendship, good, but be careful, because after a while, it's going to go. So from those who are not married yet, yes, Michaela, would you start us off?
Yes. So for me, I want to give two perspectives: have being married and then now single. So we have this saying called "no new friends." So what I what I mean by that is, if I'm married to someone, hypothetically, because men have girl best friends, I don't know how that works, but they do. If history is involved, that's something that you have to talk about, because how, honestly, in all fairness, can you say, well, you can't be her friend anymore? I mean, 20 years, and I'm, coming in and we're together, to look at him and say, well, you can't be her, there has to be maturity in that. History, that's different. Now, just some new chick trying to be a friend, no, we're not doing none of that. Whether no new friends, but what do you do? What do you do when history is involved or family is involved? Like you said, there are boundaries that have to be set. Now, me being single, I have guy friends. Like you said, I ain't think about what's up, and you're my friend. So, I mean, I can be your friend and not feel absolutely nothing, but dap you up and keep it moving. So, I mean, it depends. It's about preference, and then it is about boundaries, I'm learning that now, like just with all friends, whether it's guy friends or girlfriends, you have to set boundaries, because if you do it in the beginning, you will save yourself a whole lot. So that's my perspective.
Anybody else? Go ahead,
So once upon a time, I used to go to Hampton University, the freshman dorms. I mean, I was about the same age as them anyway, but that's besides the point. So, but anyhow, we would go there, and you'd try to talk to the ladies, and hey, what's going on? How you doing, girl? Can I get your number? That, oh, I already got a boyfriend. And my default answer was like, oh, it's okay. Can we just be friends? I did not want to be friends with this girl. Like, I had, get out of here. I don't know you. But I had a singular moment. Like, yeah, I'll get in as a friend, but as soon as you give me that chance, we're in there. So it was. I'm just one person, but multiply me by the millions of men that exist out there. Multiply me by my gender, shall we say? And unfortunately, that's really probably for the majority of us. That's how we think. Oh yeah, sure, we'll be friends now because I'm in the door. But once you give me the door to the next door, then yeah, I'm definitely taking it, right? I mean, the opening to the next door, I'm definitely taking it. Now, if you never give it to me, yeah, sure, we'll stay here, and maybe I'll be frustrated or whatever, and however that goes and everything. I think then it now turns to you, the person who's, i.e., the friend. You've been befriended. Do you, again, like she said, do you keep that boundary there, or after a while, oh, but he's such a nice guy, I'll just take more hugs from him? No. You see, now you're going crazy. But the guy, he'll try, and if he fails, hallelujah, good for him. I mean, good for him failing. But, if you allow them to be more than just a friend, then, now enjoy the consequences thereof.
Yeah. Now, maybe this is I'm throwing something else all in, but it's like I always believe that when it comes to relationships a lot, men are the pursuers, but women hold the control. If a woman puts you in that box, it doesn't matter what you do, right? No matter how nice you are in that box, right? And I think now this may be a little more heavy, but if a woman also wants to befriend you and take it to the next level, bruh, she coming after you. I mean, she will be present, she will care for you, and the pursuing mindset of a man to have somebody also respond in kind will take it to the next level. So, Miss Tina, do you have a perspective on this?
I'm pretty much in line with what Michaela said. No new friends.
No new friends,
Yeah.
okay.
But being in the military, that was something that had to be considered because it's a very mixed culture.
Right.
I mean, there have been situations you're in a large tent, the women are literally changing over there and the guys are changing over there. There's no covering. You just got to do what you got to do to do something. There's no ulterior motives. There's no, we got a mission to accomplish.
Right.
So the boundaries, I think if a woman is doing that, she's leading a guy on because you're not naive to what their expectations are.
Right.
So you're wanting that type of attention, which means you need to evaluate yourself and say, why are you playing with someone else's feelings and allowing them to do that? Being married, most of my friends were married. So there were some ladies that were single and some guys. People understood boundaries. So that was an issue. I remember when we were married and I had to go to Iraq for 6 months. And I was like, so I don't want everybody over here bringing you dinner. Like you can't figure out what to do and
Right.
trying to help out with the kids. I don't want all the little church people like, oh, you need some help. Nah, he good. He know how to cook. We don't need any of that. Everybody in this house big enough to do stuff. So you do have to set some boundaries as far as what's going on. I think that's important to know. And one of the things that was said is to have that conversation with your spouse. And when you're dating, ask more questions than what's your favorite color? How are we going to handle this situation? What do you feel about in this interaction? Because if I'm wanting to be married and that's why we're dating, I should be sensing something about the people that you're around.
Yeah.
And I should be open that you're coming to me from a place of love to say, I think this, about this person. If I don't want to take your advice, why am I even going to be married to you?
Right. Very good point. Did someone want to say something? Oh, no, okay. I saw your hand go up. Okay. So, I mean, the one thing you said that kind of pricked my, is like, if a woman is doing that, then she's intentionally seeking it, the attention, because she knows how men think. So at the end of it, everybody knows how men think. All right. So to just say it's just a friend, like I know, what's the name? The guy that has been befriended knows very well that the lady knows that if she takes it to the next level, he will gladly say, sure, why not, right? And so it is very tough. It is about boundaries. It is about knowing how far to go and all that. So I'm going to throw this question in. Then, if you're in a friend relationship and the feelings start to develop, right? And you're like, okay, here we go. How long is it? How long should you date before you get married? Anybody can go. How long should you date? Is there a time or is it a substance? How long is too long? And how
I'm
should
going to
it be
say
short?
1 year. I think you
1 year?
should at least date 1 year, and then it takes another year to plan the wedding. So 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Anybody else?
Depends on how big that wedding needs to be. But the year, yes, I agree on the year. Like we were saying before, when you're in that stage of dating, I don't know, because you say a year, but then you got to think people just want to go on dates and get to know each other. But then what about, okay, well, we need to talk to pastor, because we want to start counseling because I want to propose, So for me, that's, I don't know, is that like 1 year or like just 1 year just strictly getting to know him, So I don't know. Maybe it is 2. Man.
So Delali and I dated for 4 years. Right? So maybe the 45 minutes distance was really long distance for us, right? It took us a while to catch up on everything. But I was in school, she was in school. We got married when I was in school, so I was broke, right? And so the Tina, stop laughing. The the financial aspects of being ready for marriage were heavy. But I mean, I think a place that I want you guys to go, still answering the same question, is the emotional readiness and the mental readiness, right? It may be 3 years, but bro, you still ain't ready, right? And so time, yes, but how do you factor in all those intangibles?
I won't say there's like a set time, but you need time to get to know the other person. If you come and say, I've been dating so and so for 2 months and y'all getting ready to get married, I'm giving you the side eye.
Yeah.
You need that time. Is there love at first sight? Could that happen? Sure. With God, it's all possible. It would be rare. You need to spend some time with that person because everybody is super nice at first. You need that time to get that real person to come out. When you need them, your car done broke down at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need to call them. Yeah, you know. So, yeah, I think you need time. Is it set? I don't know that it's set, but it should be something substantial.
Not only getting to know the person, but are they financially ready? What are they bringing to the table? I know you say you were broke, so it depends on the maturity of both persons. You might be seniors, sort of like we were, and we were like, okay, we gonna do this or what? We both knew what we were bringing to the table. We both had our lives in order, and we were squared away. But it's totally different for young people. Right. Because two young people could be very much compatible, very much in love, and think that they're ready to be married, but not be ready. Yeah. So, and if he's broke, where y'all gonna live off? Yeah. Love's not gonna pay the bills. Mm-mm. That's what my mother used to tell me. Love does not pay the bills, and so we have to just be wise. And as pastor, you can say, okay, I'm going to counsel y'all, but your counseling session is going to be for a year. And this couple over here, your counseling session might be for 2 months.
Yeah. I agree. I think I can speak off of experience because my first marriage, I got married at 19 years old. Now, everybody was like, wait a minute, like that's young, So I 100% agree. Yes, there needs to be time. Like I said, now getting married again, I'm at a different place in my life, but at that point, you don't have anything, like you said, all you have is love. And like you said, love don't pay the bill. So I'm speaking from experience. There are a lot of things that I probably would not have dealt with if I would have spent more time and, growing up, things like that. So from experience, like he said, it needs to be like substantial amount of time.
I will say with the first time when we got married, I was 22. I purchased a Dodge Colt. That $500 rebate was our honeymoon money. And we went to Florida, enjoyed that. We came back. I moved out the barracks. We literally had like the bed that he had when he was growing up. It was a twin size bed. And it had a box spring. 1 week I sleep on the box spring. 1 week he sleep on the mattress. And we flipped it back and forth literally until we had enough money to buy a bed. We brought a bed, then we had TV trays, and then until we had enough money to get a dining room table. And we just made that work over time and just appreciated that. I was 22. I'm 55. That's not an option now. So I need, and not that I'm not a widow that's like, oh, I need you to take care of me. God has been good, and I'm grateful that that's not it. But you, at this age, so I'm 55, dating anyone from maybe 45 to 65, if you have not been able to hold down a job, that means you have no level of commitment. You can't be with me. Right. If you have not, there are some things that take in having a career. That means you have some fortitude. That means you show up when things are difficult. If you don't have some friends, what's wrong with you? I mean, all those things need to be coming to the table for me to get an essence. Because I can't be your only friend. all those things need to matter to me. So yeah, I need, but you see that in time. If I'm just, oh, he's so cute, and then I ain't got married, you don't know what happens when he's upset about something. Yeah. You don't know, why don't he like his mama? What is up with that? I mean, why have I not met your cousins? Yeah. How do we pay our bills together? All those things get answered over time in dating, and that doesn't happen, like Randy said, in the first 6 months, because you could pretend for a minute, but after a while, the real you, I need to see all of who you are. I need you to belch. I need you to pass gas around me. I need all those things. I need to know what happened when your food get upset. I need to understand when you mad. I want to know, because I'm committing my heart and my soul till death do you part. And it's no light matter. I want to see how you are in an argument. I want to see all those different things. And if at the end of the day, I still want to say I love you, okay, it was worth the time, because it's an investment. I mean, I spend more time looking for a TV than I think somebody spend dating sometimes. I'm like, I'm looking in Best Buy, I'm looking here, this and stuff like that, and it's a TV. You talk about a person, you got to spend some time with it.
Next time on Love Notes.
My feeling is that when you start going 6-7 years, right, then there is no plan. At 6-7 years, you guys already been intimate. Yeah, after holding hands for a while, it gets boring.